Folks, how are you doing today? This hot take is brought to you by our friends at the CDC. As I read I read the first article yesterday evening. I wanted to validate it because it is even confusing to me. And after reading the CDC clarification, I am just left with the idea that one of the scariest things you'll ever hear is, "Hey, I'm from the government. I'm here to help." That should frighten all of us. It should frighten tenants, landlords, just average American cities. Anytime we hear the government, I'm here to help. So let me catch you up on what CDC clarification was from yesterday. Again, validated it this morning with a couple of other sources because I almost thought it was fake news. First and foremost, the CDC has clarified and told landlords and property managers nationwide that you can start evictions now. You can start evictions. You can start evictions now. But wait, the CDC order on no evictions until 12/31 stays in effect. So what does that really mean? Well, when you piece the details together, what it means is landlords and tenants, really it's landlords, when a tenant misses payments, you can start the eviction process. So, for example, I'm in California, and if I were to start an eviction today, what is it, the 13th or something? It would probably take me till the middle of December, maybe early December, maybe late December, depending on how the courts are going. It's the holidays, so probably mid-December, before I would get a judgment and you would see a date, a sheriff lockout date, what they call it. So what they're really saying is, landlords, you can start the eviction process now. You just can't have the lockout date. The actual sheriff shows up, moves the belongings to the street until January 1. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my. This is going to ratchet up the pressure on tenants because in California, you really got to start evictions now just to have a shot at getting a non-paying tenant out by January. So the courts better get ready. There's a huge wave out there that's just sitting there. The other things that in the clarification, again, putting all the pressure on tenants, the landlord or property manager does not have to share the required documentation to ask for rent delay. Initially, the order was kind of opaque, and when in doubt, the landlord felt, us as landlords, or more importantly, property managers, they had to educate the non-paying tenant. The CDC has come out and said, no, it's not the landlord or the property manager's responsibility to educate the tenant on the program. It is not on the landlord or property manager to educate the tenant on the qualifications, right? Earns less than 99K, look for all help, and filled out a form and attestation. So what does this mean? It means a lot of evictions are going to get filed, more than you probably have, more than the court systems can handle. The courts are about to be very backed up. In states like California, especially, because we're 60 days out usually. States like Texas, probably, again, Texas evictions a couple of weeks normally, but I assume many will be filed. So what is going to happen? So landlords are going to spend some money on lawyers. It's going to go through the process and get a bunch of lockout dates for January 1st, January 2nd, whatever. Tenants on the receiving end now are first going to feel like, what the hell? I thought I had an order, all of that. But the pressure on non-paying tenants is going to go up. So I've shared with you vividly that I'm down about $50,000 since March. maybe February, March, I think, March. We have a couple of tenants, two specifically, that are playing games. They are going to get notices right now. They'll probably get a 3-day, which we got to start the process in California, and then we will file the eviction notice. So what will likely happen here is we're going to find out which tenants are playing games and which are really struggling. The ones that are playing games, once they see the notice and the court dates and all of that, you're probably going to see some rent collection. Other tenants that feel the pressure and always plan to ghost will ghost early. Ghost means, if you don't know what that slang is for, meaning they get the notice, they get a U-Haul, and they leave. This is this CDC clarification. Again, I go back to the quote, right? I'm from the government. I'm here to help. We should all be afraid. This CDC clarification creates more confusion, actually takes burden off investors and puts it on tenants. Many tenants aren't in a position to really know what's going on, so it's going to be net negative to them. As for investors, what does this mean? Well, again, you can't get lockouts for non-payment till January. If you're in California, really doesn't impact this. You can find the source for this. The first one I read yesterday was Yahoo Finance, top of page, CDC clarification. I'll find the link and put it in the notes once this is posted. I do these live, so I need some time for the video to render. But yeah, it's in California, probably not looking at a lockout date till January, so start evictions. In other states, it adds pressure. I don't know what it means. I don't think I will buy a tenant occupied property today. I don't think. I have to think about that. I mean, I've been avoiding those because I've told you I think the eviction moratorium actually extends. But now that if you can start evictions and file and maybe get a portion of the tenants out, maybe it's helpful. So I give you all this stuff in real time. So we have to figure this out. So again, the CDC clarification it's helpful to landlords, no doubt. Certainly helpful to landlords in states where there's already a 45 or 60-day eviction time frame, so we can start now and get them out in January versus start in January and get them out in March or April. That was my fear, and one of the reasons that I wouldn't be buying tenant-occupied property, because if the old way I read the CDC article was I couldn't even start evictions till January 1st or 2nd. Now what they're saying is, no, you can start now and evict in January. That's very different, right? Originally, I was going, shoot, if I buy a tenant-occupied property in October, best case, I'll get rent in April. That's a non-starter. So I really do need to look at the business and see what this means. I don't know. There's one property I've shared a couple of times that I'm looking at that's occupied that's about $100,000 under value. I may go look at that again, see what's going on. So at the end, I want to wish you all a wonderful day. If you are watching this and not subscribed, I think there's 10 spots left to be in the first 10,000. We are at 9,990 subscribers. If you want to be a part of the first 10,000 at one rental at a time to hit subscribe. There's only 10 spots left. Take care. We will do our daily financial news at 7:30. I don't know. That's probably in 10 minutes or so. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.